Hey, welcome back. This is Clay Nelson Light Balance Hour. And you're listening to the show today is all about truth. And quite frankly, what's it cost you to speak it? What's it cost you when you don't live it? And what's it cost you when you don't hold your elected officials accountable for what they say about it? The truth. You know, I mean, I got a couple of calls on the break, and it said, when I said A plus B, does it really equal C? Boy, that set some people to thinking. So it's all about really getting straight. And that last caller I had, it's, you know, he's saying, hey, what is the truth? And we got into what is accountability. And accountability for the truth in this time of year for, you know, we're going to vote a whole bunch of people into a whole bunch of offices. And like I said to the caller, you can't just walk into the booth and vote and say, okay, you're done. Those people have to understand, one, that you're watching them. Two, you have an opinion. Three, you've done your homework. And four, you're going to hold them accountable. So you can't quit after you vote, okay? Does everybody hear that? The truth is, if you don't get what you want from your elected officials, it's because you've gone to sleep after you put them in the office. So you can't do that, all right? Now, being less than the truth takes a toll emotionally on us. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. But we've got an email. What's the email we've got over there?
Okay, this one just came in during the break, Clay. And it's from somebody named Diane. And
Yeah.
she said, my 9-year-old daughter is a horrible liar.
Oh, my gosh.
And then she said, I hope it stays that way. My husband and I can always tell when she isn't being truthful. So why does she keep doing it? It drives me crazy.
Well, the question really needs to be is, how did she learn to do that? And how come up to 9 years old you've been letting her get away with that? And, you know, when are you going to have a sit-down conversation with her about what it costs to lie, especially when you know it? So it's time to have what Susan and I call a family meeting. And a family meeting is nothing more than agreeing to sit down and have a discussion about something that someone's doing in the family. In this case, it would be your 9-year-old daughter. And you start discussing and teaching from first person. By that, I mean, you don't put it in her face and call her a liar. You say, you know, I got to tell you, I can remember years back when I lied about some things, and I kept lying about some things. And pretty soon I found out without anybody telling me that people wouldn't listen to me anymore. They knew I wasn't telling the truth, but they didn't want to confront me. They just quit listening to me. So, you know, lying always catch up to you. No matter what you put out in the world, you always will have to pay for. So you need to sit down and have a straight talk with your daughter. And don't be rough, be loving, and be the truth, but be the truth from an example in your life. And, you know, it's kind of like plant a seed instead of dropping a tree on her. So that'd be the best way to handle that. And last but not least, make sure that she didn't learn to lie from possibly you, okay? So you got to be straight, all right? Now, many people believe that the current economic problems in this country is due in part to people being anything but real or truthful with themselves about what they can and cannot afford. And you know, if there is truth in this, then the price we potentially pay for being less than truthful with ourselves is a pretty big one, isn't it? I mean, think about this, all right? It's like I know a little girl who absolutely hates to hurt her mom's feelings. And when her mom tries out a new recipe for dinner, she always says, oh, boy, that was great, Mom. Thank you very much. I loved it. Gee, when can we have some more of it? And then when Mom makes it, you know, 2 or 3 nights in a row because she thinks her daughter likes it and her daughter won't eat anymore, she can't figure out why her daughter won't eat. And her daughter can't figure out why her mother keeps making something she doesn't like. It's because they don't communicate. So the moral of the story is when we are less than truthful with ourselves and others about who we really are or what we really can afford or what we really do and don't like, there are tangible and potentially negative effects that take place. So think about that. Being less than truthful takes a toll emotionally on us also. So how does your being less than truthful about how you feel affect your relationships? If you don't shoot straight with the people you love, just like that email, if you don't shoot straight with your 9-year-old kids when they're not telling the truth, they just think not telling the truth is okay. So you have to shoot straight and take what you get. You know, sometimes being a parent, sometimes being the adult isn't always fun. Sometimes being the leader isn't always fun. That's why there's fewer and fewer leaders nowadays, okay? So how does being less than real when you are with other people affect how you ultimately feel about yourself? See, you know when you're not shooting straight. You know when you're not saying the exact truth. You know when you've sort of stretched things a bit. I mean, I got to tell you, there are times when I'm up on stage speaking and I'm just having a great time with a great audience, and I'll say something that isn't exactly the truth, or I'll expand a little bit, you know, the old Nelson expansion stuff. And the truth is, I got to either clean it up on stage or I have to go be it off stage. So it either way, you got to get your integrity in place and make sure you don't speak yourself into a hole. And that's more commonly, you don't lie yourself into a place that you're going to lose face. So I think, we've all been in a situation where we pretended to be something we weren't, or pretended to believe something we didn't, or pretended to know something we didn't. And every time it comes back to haunt you. I got some quotes here. I'm going to read you Mark Twain, and this one's a good one. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Now think about that. I always say to people, you want to have more memory? Don't lie. Okay? Albert Einstein said, whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. You know what I mean? I mean, think about this now. The truth also lives in, finish what you start. If you start vacuuming the house, vacuum the house. All right? If you're going to do the dishes, do the dishes. If you're going to cut the lawn, cut the lawn. If you say you're not going to speak to somebody in a certain way, don't speak to that person in that certain way. If you're going to lose weight, lose it. If you're going to quit smoking, quit. If you're going to vote for somebody, back them and go stuff envelopes, then vote for somebody, back them and go stuff envelopes. Get it done. Be your word. All right? The only way you can finish and feel complete at the end of the day is to have done what you said you're going to do. All right? Winston Churchill, all right? World War II, British Council. Winston Churchill, the truth is inconvertible, all right? Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. So the truth is how do you spell it? Incontrovertible. Incontrovertible. I should have read that before I went on the show, huh?
Even after you read it, it's still a hard one to pronounce.
It is, all right? Elvis Presley. Oh, here's one. Now, here's one. The truth, all right? Elvis Presley. The truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away.
How about this one? This is from Abraham Lincoln. I liked it. And it said, how many legs does a dog have if you call a tail a leg? 4. Calling a tail a leg doesn't make it a leg.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So you can say it's the truth, but it's not. Right? Essentially is what he's saying. So a tail can't be a leg. At least that's what I got out of that, right?
It's a tall tail.
It's a tall tail. Oh, that was good. Okay, now here's another one that I found. Is, when I thought about, putting a show together called Truth, you can go to various depths. You can get into some philosophical conversations that can take you all over the place. So you can speak over people's heads, or you can, speak about the truth to a kindergarten class. All right, and keep it very, very simple. So I aim for 6th graders, okay, in this particular show, because I'm about a 7th grader in my intellect. What do you think? That's the truth, So it's all about getting really straight about things. Now, so I'm going to read you something that I read. How much time I got? Have I got time to do this in this segment?
You've got 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's the truth. I can do that. Okay, now, so there was a 10-year-old little boy who asked his mother, how old are you? And she said, honey, you should never ask a woman how old she is because she will never tell the truth. How much do you weigh, Mom? Honey, you should never ask a woman how much she weighs because she'll never tell you the truth, Mom said. Well, he left and he asked his father all about that. And his father says, son, when you want to find out things like that about a woman, you must not ask her. You must look at her driver's license. And so he goes, oh, so the little boy goes out into the living room and Mom's purse was there, and he gets in his mom's purse and opens up the billfold and looked at the driver's license and came back to her and said, Mom, I know how old you are. You are 36, and I know how much you weigh. You weigh 142 pounds. But the one thing I don't understand is that you got an F in sex. And the truth is what it is. Think about this. So if you let your mind just go with what you know about what is the truth, all right, you don't know that F means female for sex on the license, all right? And he made up that his mom got it. She failed the sex, whatever the sex test was on the driver's license. So, so when we tell children in our lives how much we weigh, when they ask, no, but the story goes on and suggests that the more open you are and the honest you are, and the more you leave people guessing about different things, about who you are, what we do like, are we happy, what makes us happy, and ultimately what we want in our lives. It's really important to leave other people being as truthful as you can about what you say you want. Now, the truth is now, isn't that a great example? I just see a 7 or 8 year old little kid just going through what it says on the driver's license, and they know about passing grades and flunking grades and so on and so forth. So mom got an F in sex. I thought that was hilarious. I fell on the ground when I saw that example.